If you're in Las Vegas where the temps are still in the 90s, how do you know it's fall? Not by yesterday's equinox on the calendar, but by the unveiling of the autumn wonderland inside Bellagio's Conservatory, or should I say, Fairyland. Not in the Fairyland category at all, but more of a nightmare is the construction mess that is the Strip these days.
But not all that construction has to do with Formula One. Exciting things are happening at the Grand Bazaar Shops. Let's take a look. So get ready, because this adventure starts right now.
So many of you have been asking recently, what's it like to travel Las Vegas Boulevard nowadays? So today, we decided to do it just because you asked. It's barely 6:30 a.m. and traffic is sneaking by all the construction equipment and the orange cones single file. We have never seen it look less like a tourist haven than it does right now. When will this madness end? If you saw our video 1 week ago, we stood out front of the spectacular Bellagio and showed you the sidewalk minus the trees they'd recently removed. You can't do that anymore. As we told you, crews have started to install the grandstands for November's Formula One race, and you cannot access the sidewalk at all. We're capturing this view from across the boulevard. Never one to be deterred by a barricade, our intrepid camera gal went around and through the Bellagio shops to the north end looking for a better view. Well, we can peek through the windows, but we can't exit the doors. Hey, the doors on the Flamingo side near Starbucks still get you outside to street level, although access to the Strip is blocked. From here, you do get a clear side view of the lake and what's happening as the construction gets underway. Up on the pedestrian bridge, it's clear what I predicted last week came to pass. The trees in the bump outs that still existed when we were here last Monday are now gone.
Enough of that madness outside. Let's go look at something beautiful. Inside Bellagio's opulent lobby, all is in its place, and just this past week, it was freshly dressed for the autumn season. The towering vases on the countertops and the alcove behind the front desk always give us a glimpse of what we are in for in the conservatory. Maybe we'll be in luck and get in before the tourists early on this Monday morning. Well, not quite yet. The velvet ropes are still up, but we got some intel that the conservatory will open momentarily. Meanwhile, I'm peeking around. Left side, middle, and the right side. Anxious to see how those renderings that we glimpsed last week were brought to life. And by 6:45, I am inside this enchanted autumn landscape. What a transformation, literally in 1 week. All roads lead into a fanciful world decorated with fall flora and fauna, whimsical structures, and magical fairies. This design is timeless, yet feels rooted in legend. The ever-helpful placards in the beds tell us that we will feel our senses soar as we experience a cornucopia of autumn sights, classic sounds, and a bespoke scent in the air of spiced apple cider. I'm already on board, and I haven't even been in here a minute. As ever, the best place to start is whatever welcoming path appears at the lobby entrance. This time it's flagstone, leading us into and through a magical oak tree. In its hollow center is a circular room featuring framed renderings of all 4 of the autumn beds, and 2 peekaboo windows giving us wide views of the north bed and the south bed. Along either side of the east bed are a collection of larger-than-life mushrooms and acorn lanterns set with flickering bulbs that bring fireflies to mind. As you walk through, notice the Bellagio bee painted on the floor, and, wait for it, the big reveal of the west bed at the end of the path. There is a lot to take in here. Always the case for this bed that sprawls across the back of the conservatory. This lovely lady is the Harvest Floral Fairy, and she's being visited by some other ethereal creatures. The monarch butterfly, a symbol of transformation and revival, and the crescent moon with the wise owl on his perch. Together, these two symbolize seasonal change. We have it on good authority that this stone cottage is the Harvest Fairy's home, but not your average low-budget treehouse. Oh no, the florals are lush, the windows are stained glass, the roof is a toadstool, and the trim is metallic. Stepping around back, near Sadelle's, we see the final result of the paint job that we witnessed a week ago. These 2 towering oak trees, with their arching branches and leaves in vibrant fall colors, anchor this bed. I don't know why, I am just as intrigued by the back side of these displays as I am the front. And in the same spot as it was for the summer display, we find the garden table. It sits underneath a brightly colored mushroom canopy and offers unique views of the gardens while you enjoy a leisurely brunch or dinner courtesy of Sadelle's or Michael Mina. I've done it, and it's a fantastic experience. Taking a look at the south bed, we find yet another fairy scene, this one splashed with an abundance of sunflowers. The sunflower is a species native to the Americas, a universal symbol of joy, adoration, and loyalty. Bellagio's version stands 22 feet tall. Naturally then, this must be the sunflower fairy. She is wearing a couture floral dress made of all-natural Dupioni silk, a filament produced by 2 silkworms spinning a cocoon together. It is just gorgeous. You know all the conservatory displays make generous use of water. Here, a waterfall spills gently over mossy rocks into the pond, nurturing and supporting life. And across the stepping stones, the fairies' treehouse. Must be a cozy fire inside against the autumn chill. At its core, the conservatory is a garden. A showcase for not only the talent that imagines, builds, and creates the hardscape and figures, but also the horticulturalists who cultivate, grow, place, and care for this staggering variety of plants and flowers. Whenever we come in here, we have to give them their due. Superb plant selection and pairings. It is autumn, so yes, there are plenty of pumpkins and gourds carefully placed among the plants. Not as many as in other years perhaps, but just the right amount for this theme. Then there are the mushrooms. Every conceivable color and design, all made of botanical materials in every one of the beds. Even though the display just opened last weekend, this one is already needing a major repair. Last but not least, a number of autumnal fairies flit above our heads, adding more charm and whimsy to the exhibit and celebrating nature's gifts. With each new theme in the conservatory, I find it hard to pick my favorite from the 4 beds. But for autumn 2023, this may be it. At the entrance, an ancient oversized book of spells. And beyond that, a magical Bellagio sewing machine. These bolts of colorful Dupioni silk are being transformed into an elegant gown for the fall gala. I love this! Here, the water feature creates a gentle fog in the foreground. And at the back, the immersive LED screen pulls us out the windows and into vibrant landscapes. Multi-sensory indeed! Hurry over and see this display. It's only going to be here till November 4th.
All right, my friends, back outside to Construction Central. How many months did we watch this marquee at the new Horseshoe being worked on? Well, guess what? It's up now, it's big, and it's blasting out promos for all it's worth. Millions of LED pixels are nice, but I tell you what, I really do miss the neon on the strip. We've crossed the pedestrian bridge to the Horseshoe side of the street to get a closer look at all this. Big changes at the Grand Bazaar Shops, none of it having to do with Formula One. Lots of new construction right out here at Las Vegas Blvd, but I wonder what it's gonna be. Now this project is the furthest along, country star Blake Shelton's Tennessee-based Ole Red. Ole Red is shaping up for a January opening with 27,000 square feet on 4 floors, including a rooftop bar with strip views. Blake wants his largest location to date to become the epicenter for country music in Las Vegas and a chance for you, the guest, to play talent scout for up-and-coming country artists. And while you're there, fill up on a Southern-inspired meal. I'll tell you what, Ole Red is gonna be so tall you won't even know that the Grand Bazaar or the Horseshoe are back here unless you walk behind it. We found some interesting renderings on the web indicating that Old Red's next door neighbor will be yet another 4-story venue, Bottled Blonde out of Arizona. This brand is a pizzeria by day, a nightclub after dark, and is due to open late next year, so stay tuned on this one. Beyond all that construction, though, the existing Grand Bazaar is still intact. Long rows of touristy shops and name brand eateries eventually leading to the Horseshoe entrance. Speaking of which, here finally are the escalators taking you to the newly branded Bally's turned Horseshoe. But what's this literally at its feet? Bourbon Street Parade, named after the famous song from the 1940s, is described as a lively bar experience with its roots in the history, culture, and music of New Orleans. Now get this, they are planning daily parades featuring a grand marshal and brass bands. They've already auditioned and hired the musicians. No opening date has been announced yet, but it will be very, very soon. Now this one is already open, the latest donut shop to take Las Vegas by storm. It's called Duck Donuts, a fast-growing franchise originally from the Outer Banks in North Carolina. Really fun signage and free stuff as well. The hook is warm, delicious, made-to-order donuts where you choose your toppings on the spot. It's such a popular idea, there are now over 135 locations across the country. If you'd rather, just grab an assortment that's already on the menu, including savory flavors and fun toppings for fall, or one of their famous breakfast sandwiches in a donut. And one more hidden gem back here that's open and ready to serve you, Dirt Dog, the home of delicious LA street food. Back in the 90s, brothers Tim and Simon used to buy bacon-wrapped hot dogs from a lady on a street corner in downtown Los Angeles. Her grill was so close to the road that their mother feared they were eating dirt from the passing cars along with the dogs. The name stuck, and the brothers opened a restaurant, and now we have 5 of these in Las Vegas.
Okay, friends, are you proud of me? I actually went into Duck Donuts and I didn't even buy one. What's that about? Now, the hot dog place wasn't quite open. They were getting ready to open, but honest to goodness, why have we never been to Dirt Dog? We need to go over there, as Dale would say, right now, because those look great. I'll tell you what, Grand Bazaar Shops always gets kind of a bad rap. They're kind of weird looking. They're not really pretty from the standpoint of Las Vegas Boulevard. But with those 2 4-story monstrosities out front, that whole world is going to change. And I look forward to it. It's going to be fun. So let's talk conservatory for a minute. That is just a beautiful display. And I need to say something to all my Outlander peeps out there. When they took the velvet ropes away and they turned the soundtrack on, the very first song was the Dance of the Druids from Outlander's first season, which set the tone for what I was going to see inside that magical fantasy land with all the fairies. I really, really like it. It is just one of their most beautiful autumn displays, and I encourage you to go take a look. Fun fact, usually they put on their website all the info and the number of plants and all that, but because of all of the issues they've been having with their systems, I actually called and talked to the concierge, and she said she apologized, but they haven't even put up on their website all the info about, the number of plants and so on. But the placards, as you know, are always helpful. So go check that out. It is really, really beautiful. All right, just a quick update on my better half, still not with me. We are taking care of him as best we can. He'll be getting his stitches out from his surgery next Friday. So fingers crossed that we're doing it right and it's going to be on its way to healing. We are moving things around on our schedule. We have already talked to our folks at Binions. We were supposed to go there next week. Postponing that. They're so kind and understanding about that, but it will be coming later on this year. And fun. The Fontainebleau announced when they're going to be opening, and we booked a room for the very first weekend in December. So lots of cool stuff coming up, so stick around with us. Next week, friends, by request, we are going for a foodie adventure, and we're going vegan. So join us next week. Hey, we hope you had a good time. We will see you next time. Bye, everybody.